This week in gaming and tech news. We have a new regulation that could be put in place from the EU and the UK. It could change all social media algorithms, which I'll get into. We've got PlayStation addresses the DRM concerns, and the US are pushing an AI first approach. So let's get into it. But first, if I may be a little bit cheeky and ask if you like this content, please like and subscribe, it really helps the channel out, and you can always unsubscribe if you hate me. The first story I want to go over is the future of discovery. YouTube and Google put out an article saying what could happen, and I saw this from Dylan Page's video on it, so I would recommend checking that video out, and I'll leave a link to it in the description. So YouTube is a platform where anyone can just post a video and try and find a global audience, and been very successful. A lot of jobs are out of YouTube. But there's new prominence rules being discussed in the EU and UK that could change how the algorithm works. As YouTube literally said, these rules could force YouTube to give special treatment to a small group of organizations handpicked by the government. And they literally said, for creators and media companies that are not chosen, this risk is real. You're basically going to be pushing those organizations that the government have picked over an individual creator, and that takes a slot in the algorithm, and the algorithm can be very volatile, and this could destroy your ambitions of being a YouTuber, because those government organizations were handpicked, and it will make it harder for creators to grow and earn a living if the governments are picking the winners essentially. So honestly, I'll leave the article down below. The government can decide basically what you watch. This is just the beginning of it, and this would be not just YouTube, all social media as well. And they're already, I don't know what organizations it will pick, and I feel like with social media you get to choose what you watch, and what does this even achieve, because people might just still not click on it, and the government are saying it allows them, it reduces the spread of misinformation, which I can get that, but I just feel like it should be up to the individual of what they what they believe. And there already is a news section on YouTube where these organizations are displayed, so I just don't understand why they need to just take up the slot on the algorithm, and this could be really bad. This isn't set in stone, but it's been really discussed, and I wouldn't say I wouldn't put it past it coming in play. This is just the start of it. We're not going to be able to choose what we watch. We're going to be fed by the government what we watch. I feel like this is something that needs to be spread around, shared online. I think a fair system on any creator, just based on them wanting to do this hard work and the quality of their content, to be put in place, not these organizations. And there may say misinformation, but it's probably also to do with the money from it. If they can just guaranteed for them to be displayed on the algorithm, what advantage is that, man? It's just pay to win essentially. So, and then again, even more views. So I feel like this is just not how it should be. We already know where to access these organizations. They have websites, they have their own YouTube channels. If we wanted to watch them, we just probably subscribe to them or just what. So yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe a solution, I would also hate this, but not as bad as this, would be you automatically subscribe to them. So if you're in your subscriptions, you could go, but then again, that would still mess up the algorithm. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about this, and hopefully this doesn't happen. And I believe if this happens in the EU and UK, it will just also go across the other countries in the world. So it really sucks, but this is just what's happening now, I guess. Next, another concern was with PlayStation's PS5 DRM concerns, where essentially people were saying online that if you don't play a game for 30 days, you lose access to the game, you use the license to the game. But that isn't really how it works. Essentially, if your PlayStation 5's offline for a month straight, your digital games will be rendered unplayable until you online to authenticate its license. But then there's like confusion, like if you go offline again, do you lose it and stuff. PlayStation have confirmed that there's a one-time check to confirm the license, but beyond that, the players won't experience any interruptions. The check is done to prevent anyone from getting a refund for a game, then taking their system offline to use it without a valid license. So they're doing this to like combat piracy. I've heard that online, like in like South America and maybe other places, that piracy is quite a big issue. But Gabe, the CEO of Valve, literally said this himself. He got asked, how do you combat piracy? And he said, you make a better solution than the piracy itself. And this is like, that's the best approach to do. And instead of putting these measures in place, you should be like, why are they pirating so many games, for example? It might be because it's like of the regional pricing, which I know can be really bad in some places. So is there something we can do there? Like, that's how I would see it, but these are not just how the companies do it, I guess. And hey, it may not be as bad as people initially thought it would be, but this is just the start, and DRM is becoming more and more used, and like companies just want more control of their IP. Like we haven't owned games for ages, and now it's like eventually it's gonna be, if you don't play this game every day, we're taking it off you and you don't even get your money back. It's like, what? So yeah, it just sucks. It's been quite a negative video. Next. Okay, it's time for the quickfire. Okay, some slightly positive news that there'll be no product placement, as Strauss Zelnick, CEO of Take-Two, says players won't need to worry about product placement or in-game advertisements to GTA 6. With companies being greedy, like we mentioned earlier in this video, it's good to see that won't be like in-game placement, even though GTA 6 would be the perfect game for it. So, man, it's good to get that at least. I like how that is positive news. I'm not getting ads. I'm not used to this. The former Nintendo of America president Reggie Fils-Aimé, sorry about pronunciation, recently came out saying that he had a controversial conversation with an Amazon executive, suggesting for him to do illegal stuff. As they had a conversation that was, the executive wanted some financial support so they could lower the price and beat Walmart. And he apparently I said to the executive, you know that's illegal, I can't do that. You know, you get silence on the other end. It's like, but that's what I want. So, and that's why they stopped selling to Amazon. They didn't want to do something illegal. So it's just a bit weird. These companies, what they're trying to get each other to do, I guess. Some PlayStation players may be eligible for reimbursement from a settled lawsuit that was first filed in 2023, accusing Sony of monopolizing the market by restricting third-party games on their platform. As Sony is required to pay approximately $7.8 million to all in the United States who purchase specific digital games through the PSN network between April 1st, 2019 and December 1st, 2023. So yeah, maybe some of you who are watching are entitled to some money. That'd be good. Speaking of another company losing money in a lawsuit, Meta lost $375 million in court as the new Mexican Attorney General Raul Torres won a historic sum of $375 million in a landmark child safety case against Meta earlier this year. But the next stage of the fight could be more consequential for Meta. Might have the added edge verification for New Mexico users, prohibiting end-to-end encryption for users under 18 and capping their use to 90 hours per month, limiting engagement, boosting features like infinite scroll and autoplay. So yeah, Meta might have to be forced to put some new regulations in place in New Mexico. But Meta have also said they may be forced to pull their apps like Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp from New Mexico if the Attorney General gets this way. The state is demanding a host of changes that companies say are impossible to achieve. So we just have to see how this goes. There's also rumors that GameStop is reportedly preparing an offer to purchase eBay that could make the retailer worth over 100 billion, as they at the moment are valued 11 billion. And I know you can buy bigger companies and like debt, and I don't know the financials of it, but man, eBay is like 4 times the value of GameStop, and GameStop are going to acquire them. I don't know, man, but this is a new strategy part of the GameStop CEO to transfer GameStop brand into a powerhouse. I mean, I don't know how games are actually still worth 11 billion. I'm not saying that with like disrespect. I haven't been to a game store in a while, and I'm not in America, so I don't actually know how popular GameStop actually is. But I would prefer more GameStops physically, but it's kind of a dying market. The Academy of Motion Pictures, Arts and Science have revealed that there will be some new rule changes approaching the 99th Academy Awards in 2027, with banning the use of generative AI, and the Oscars will only be handed out for roles performed by humans with their consent and no AI involved. And the sort of article also suggests, like, will there be Game Awards going forward as well? Will the BAFTA Game Awards disqualify games if they used AI, for example? I personally don't see it happening, because I feel like AI, these companies want to use it, but then again, people fight back against AI. What choice do they have? I guess it also depends how much the company care about these awards. They might be like, I don't even care if we get Game of the Year. We're saving so much money from using this AI tools. Let's just carry on. We just have to see. There's a UK firm planning data centers by using lampposts, working with a Nigerian state to deploy 50,000 of them. But it isn't a substitute for powerful data centers, but they're useful for less demanding work, that's been said. So each eye lamp has batteries that will be charged by solar panels. And they said that NVIDIA is the company that created a small enough chip powered with 50 watts of power, so it can be powered by solar, and what we can put that inside the street light. So that could be cool. We might see just they do look quite ugly, but do you guys like them? I don't know, I'll put a photo of someone. Okay, the US military plans to increase its use of AI further after the Pentagon agreed to new and expanded contracts with some of the biggest names such as Google, OpenAI, Amazon, Microsoft, SpaceX, Oracle, and Nvidia. But they said the AI technology would now be used for any lawful operation use. And it's interesting to see that Anthropic isn't mentioned. There was the disagreement earlier on in the year. We just have to see how this actually is used. There's a security flaw in nearly every Linux distribution since 2017 called copyfail that allows any user to give themselves admin privileges that by using a Python script that works across all of the vulnerable Linux distros. So if you use Linux, I'd recommend updating so you're not vulnerable from this exploit. Okay, a Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 developer won't confirm whether it's working on a Lord of the Rings game, but said whatever comes next, it'll be an RPG, Tudor colors. Man, I beg Warhorse are developing a Lord of the Rings game. That'd be so good in like the Kingdom Come Deliverance style, and I think that would probably make quite a bit of money. As Lord of the Rings is one of the IPs that is just so underutilized, so I beg they are. I hope they are, man. That'd be so cool. And I think they could do an amazing job with it. Finally have a Subnautica 2 release date, May 14th for their early access. I'm really hyped for this game and been waiting a long time, man. They've had a lot of really good troubles in the back with craft on, so we just have to see how this goes. Microsoft have released Xbox modes available for Windows 11 PCs. Similar to Steam's Big Picture mode, you can now use Xbox's full screen experience. Roblox are working on like an AI powered graphics overhaul, and a lot of fans aren't happy as they want the cartoonish style that Roblox is named for, but now they're going for photorealism. So yeah, man, I do think loads of companies are just going for photorealism. We saw with DLSS 5. I don't really think this is what gamers want. If Roblox is losing its style, it's just does say a lot. Finally, the EA CEO says AI is used in 85% of QA work. So yeah, they're just using AI for more, and they might be just for tedious work. So I do think AI went doing jobs that no one really wants to do is good, but hopefully it doesn't take these creative jobs away in the future. So that's this week's gaming and tech news, and I'll see you in the next one.
Latest gaming and tech news every week, keeping nerds up to date. Yeah, you know the rest.